up, people? Glen here. Welcome back to Glen's Reviews, where we talk about movies, TV shows, toys, comic books, video games, anything that's horror related. Now, if you look at my table here, you might notice all the cool shit I got sitting here. I got like Ninja Turtle stuff. I got some awesome old NES games like Battletoads and the original Ninja Turtles. Got my big Donatello, Slash, Napoleon Bonafrog, Jabba the Hutt, Kermit, Godzilla. All of it's reptilian or amphibian-based life forms. So you're probably thinking we're going to be talking about some cool retro shit, right? Some awesome retro toys that have to do with Ninja Turtles or frogs or whatever. Well, if you thought that, you're sadly mistaken, because it's time to talk about this little gem right here. Frogs. 1972. This movie's frog shit. How this movie even got made is beyond me, and a little fun fact, it was featured in cinemas as a double feature alongside Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, which is a better movie, and actually my favorite Godzilla movie, and I'm assuming they probably would have made you sit through this shit before you even got to see Godzilla. Hopefully a lot of people brought their six-packs with them. The movie follows a photographer named Pickett Smith, which is among the weird names in this movie, and he's played by Sam Elliot, and it's easily the best part about this movie. He's taking pictures of the wildlife around this island that's owned by the Crockett family. And in the center of it all, there's this old guy who's really fixed on his birthday. Nothing's gonna spoil his birthday, no matter what. And it's the 4th of July too, so there's a party going on, there's younger people. It's just a huge, boring part. The first half of the movie is just boring, with some frog scenes and reptilian scenes thrown in to try to build tension and suspense, but it does a piss-poor job of it. Anyway, Wilson Pickett Smith is worried about pollution in the swamp, and he thinks it's linked to whatever they're putting on the plants and shit on the island. And for a movie called Frogs, there really isn't a whole lot of like actual frogs in it. Every time you see a shot of a frog, it's usually like a big toad, or there's like alligators and snakes. There's scenes with like tarantulas, and it's like they're all killing people, and the acting is terrible. Frogs jump around. There's a bunch of them, and there's a bunch of scenes where people just kind of roll on the ground and lay there, and they just die, even though the animals aren't doing anything. They're just kind of walking around the people. So it's like, how the hell are these animals killing these people? Are they just dying from the sheer sight of them, or what? Anyway, yeah, more and more people die in very weird, uneventful, and unexciting manners. Well, almost everybody gets killed, except for Sam Elliot and the woman he's with, played by Joan Van Ark. And at the end of the movie, the old guy, who is very fixated on his birthday and the 4th of July party, is left all by himself after everybody leaves the island and everyone else dies. There's no way to contact anyone, because throughout the course of the movie, it turns out the phones are out too. So the old guy's left in his cabin to die with a bunch of frogs that get in there, and his dog, and that's it. So basically the movie is just random amphibious and reptilian life forms and people acting very poorly, and a very boring, bland story. However, if you do look at the back of the case, it's been called the best bad movie I have ever seen in my life, from satirist writer Fran Lebowitz. Lebowitz? The Big Lebowski. Sam Elliott was in The Big Lebowski. Maybe it's part of the same universe. It's a frog cinematic universe. I'm thinking way too much about this. Yeah, my thoughts, it's a crappy movie. I don't think it was meant to be anything spectacular. The best part of the movie is Sam Elliott gives a great performance. It's like finding a little piece of gold in the center of a piece of dog shit. Sam Elliott is one of my favorite actors of all time. I love the guy. I love him in anything I've ever seen him in. Like I mentioned, The Big Lebowski, Ghost Rider, even that crappy Hulk movie. But that's the best part of the movie. This movie easily gets, I'd say, a D+. It's pretty awful. Even though if you're someone like me, who grew up with Mystery Science Theater 3000, I actually enjoy watching this. It was always fun having a couple drinks and watching something this terrible, because it is a really bad movie. But it's one of those movies that's so bad, it's actually enjoyable to watch. There's plenty of movies like that. But I will say this, is it's still better than Star Wars The Last Jedi. That movie was fucking terrible. I mean, just like one last thing, it's just the cover of this DVD too. Like, I know this isn't the original movie poster. They featured the original poster on the back, and I don't know why they did that. Why not just put the original movie poster on the front? You know, because that's what people would associate it with. I mean, I know I'm thinking too much about a crappy movie no one's ever going to want to watch. The actual movie poster too is just ridiculous. It does look like an actual frog, you know, and there's a human hand coming out of its mouth. When you look at that, I wonder how many people went into this movie thinking like, oh, we get a giant monster double feature. This frog is, you know, they're actually going to be like eating people. They're giant frogs, pretty much. People are going to get attacked by giant frogs on this island. That never happens. They just get stared at, and the people roll around and they die. Anyway, that's it, people. I hope you like my review of Frogs. A deliciously terrible yet funny movie. The best bad movie of all time. But anyway, I'm Glen Lentz. If you want to see more of my videos, go to youtube.com/GlenLentz. Mistress Peace Theater will be right back. I'll see you guys next time.